This is a public service announcement brought to you by the Department of Humour, in close association with the Ministry of Giggles, Snorts and various ululations. Please pay close attention.
It has been brought to our attention by the concerned Unisexual Nervous Trepidation Society that various spontaneous bursts of laughter and humour have been known to occur. Often these spontaneous bursts of unbridled passion have come following a joke of some description. Often it is proven this joke is made at the expense of someone else who should not have been made to be joked and or made fun of. As we have previously outlined in our announcement of 2020 titled Ballistic Unidirectional Laughter and Lasciviousness, 7 Highways to Indoctrinate Terrorists, impulsive and spontaneous acts of laughter, merriment and humour have been proven to be a notable tool for fringe radicals in recruiting right-wing extremists and other undesirable elements of our societies to their cause, as shown in Professor of Patriarchy Theory and Rape Culture, Goebbels' Slipslide's excellent research and paper on the matter, Patriarchy as Intergenerational Sacrifice and Salvation, Twisting the Agenda and Killing Equality. It should go without saying that this is of immense concern to us, and we consider it an incredible threat to our global state and the freedoms which we fought so long and hard for. It is of the utmost importance to our stability and long-lasting kindness that these matters be dealt with as swiftly and efficiently as possible. In an effort to combat this, we have set up the very first centralized bureaucracy for humour and merriment located in Slutwalk Road, Kyrgyzstan. Should you wish to apply for a burst of laughter, you need to fill form BJ69-1-1 in triplicate, as well as the general form for applying to use a form for applying DP-TNA-BBC-6, which must be filled in duplicate, then signed and stamped by a registered bureaucrat of level 88 or higher. The application will take 6 to 8 months to process, upon which time you will receive your license to laugh, which is good for 36 hours at the most and 2 hours at least, depending on what you are applying to direct laughter towards. We also understand that some forms of laughter and merriment are more pressing and of more urgency than other forms of laughter and merriment. Therefore, an application for giggles and sudden snorts will also be made available. You must fill in a single form 33-D-D, as well as form DP-TNA-BBC-6 in triplicate. The application will then be processed within 2 to 3 months, upon which time you may or may not be granted a license for snorts or giggles or other ululations of merriment, which is good for 1 hour at the most or 15 minutes at the least, depending upon what you wish to snort or giggle towards. It is important to remember that, however much we value the importance of humour and merriment, not all forms of humour and merriment are equal. In fact, some forms of humour and merriment are not humour and merriment at all, but expressions of hatred, bigotry and other undesirable traits which can only ever lead to domestic terrorism, harassment and unstable displays of archaic power systems. Should you, or anyone you know, ever show signs of humour and or spontaneous bursts of laughter or merriment, also included are snorts, giggles, inner tremblings as a result of internally displayed laughter, various sounds and movements which may be indicative of enjoyment, etc., etc., without being able to show a license to laugh, snort, giggle or otherwise enjoy yourself themselves, the proper authorities must be notified at once in order to assess whether or not any damage, be that personal or societal, was done during the humorous assault. If and or when you or someone you know are found to be guilty of humorous assault with intent to hurt, damage, kill, maim or emotionally incapacitate, you or they will be taken care of by the Ministry of Equality, Sex and Segregation, who will then educate you or them on proper etiquette and humour, as well as how to handle and deal with improper etiquette and humour. Of important note is also the concerns of the concerned Unisexual Nervous Trepidation Society as to whether or not this implementation of licenses to laugh will result in targeted assaults of humour, merriment, snorts, giggles or various ululations against women and minorities. It is important, therefore, to make a distinction between humour and assault. We have therefore, in cooperation with Goebbels' Slipslide, put together some easy guidelines for you to follow. If and when you encounter any minority or otherwise marginalized person, persons or non-persons, assume immediately that you cannot laugh, snort, giggle or otherwise enjoy yourself despite having a pre-approved license to do so. If someone you know tells a joke that was unexpected and which may at first glance seem to be following the guidelines of safe humor, assume that it will, given further scrutiny, reveal itself to be deeply offensive and or improper humorous assault, and as such invalid to be laughed at, despite already having a license to laugh. This may not be the case if the person or non-person telling the joke is a woman or any variety of minority. Should you be in doubt as to whether or not someone is a minority, please remember the guidelines of the Codex Nevroticus, wherein all minorities and majorities are listed and ranked depending on the severity of their minority status or lack thereof. If the joke is in reference to genitalia, please note that genitalia is an archaic concept of power dynamics, and as such are not to be made fun of, for fear of triggering the downfall of our kindness and mutual loving global civilization. If the joke is in reference to fornication, please note that fornication is an archaic concept of male dominance, and is not to be enjoyed in any way, shape or form, as it is nothing but a necessary evil, a means of procreation prior to the completion of our spawning chambers. All heteronormative sex is rape, even if you enjoy it. And rape is not something to be laughed at. Victims of rape have already been assaulted. They do not need another assault. Please show some compassion. If you are A. Caucasian and B. Male, please note that you spent your laughter and giggle quotas already over the past thousands of years, and as such are not liable to receive any license to laugh, giggle, snort in appreciation, vibrate, fluctuate, move, dance, breathe improperly, etc., etc. Notable exceptions can be made with application through the form MI-LF-DPDD-69-6 in triplicate, which you can only receive if you are now or ever have been A. a castrato, B. a sufferer of prostate or testicular cancer, C. a former woman or woman identifying, or D. otherwise emasculated. Keeping these guidelines in mind, it should not be particularly difficult to distinguish between humor and assault. Should you still be in doubt, it is always safe to err on the side of caution and assume that the best course of action is not to laugh. At least not until absolute certainty in regards to the situation at hand can be established. Keep also in mind that your own or anyone else's contextual explanation in regards to humor and the original intent with the joke is irrelevant when confronted with the feelings of the victim of humor about the matter. Please note also that the feelings of the victim may be trumped by the Department of Humour if they consider the situation to be a matter of humorous assault and not a harmless joke. Thank you for your attention and cooperation in these difficult times.
This has been a public service announcement from the Department of Humour, in close association with the Ministry of Giggles, Snorts and various ululations. Remember, humour. Just say, it depends.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please consider sharing, liking and clicking on the notification bell. That would help the channel grow and the message be spread. Also, please take a look at the links down below. Catch you next time.